Yes, people, welcome back to Let's Talk Premier League. And today, normally we would have the weekly review show, but today is actually the International Day Against Homophobia, Transphobia and Biphobia Abuse. So I felt that it would be the right time. I had planned to do this on Saturday. I didn't even realize this was today. It all comes so quickly. So today we're doing a designated stream, basically on abuse and homophobic abuse and all the issues that the LGBT community go through. Now, before I start, I will be mentioning other forms of abuse, and when I mention them, it's not me downplaying them. Racism is a huge issue. We need to solve that. Sexism is a huge issue. We need to solve that. What I will be saying, though, is that we don't actually take homophobic abuse in the right way. We're not active about it. It's always on the back of our minds. It's never at the foremost of our mind. I put out a tweet. If you follow me on Twitter at @Nile_PAFC, you'll see that I actually put out a tweet just before I went live. My team Argyle, as you all know, I'm a huge Argyle supporter. Yesterday, they put out a tweet about her game 2, or I think it's something to do like that. Today, on the International Day Against Homophobia, Transphobia and Biphobia, nothing. Why is that? Why, when we're celebrating her game, are we not then sort of putting the support out for people in the LGBT community? This is why this stream is here. This is why we are talking about this, because at the end of the day, if my club can't do it, and look, they have this rainbow laces and all this bullshit, yeah, that's cool. So one day or one weekend a year, we look at homophobic abuse. Nice. The Premier League have got a huge campaign, and say no to racism or end racism. It appears that the Premier League have forgotten about the other forms of abuse. Sexism. I don't see the sexism thing in that campaign. I could be corrected. I would happily be corrected. But the titles say no to racism or no to racism, however they phrased it. It mentions nothing against homophobic abuse or sexism. Why are we not doing the same? Why can't the title of it be end discrimination or say no to discrimination? Because that would be the right thing to do, because all forms of discrimination are completely wrong. And yeah, I'm not happy with it. I'm not happy with it in the slightest. And we will be putting the link in the chat for everyone to come on and have their say. A big up to Charles in the comments as well. Also to Lewis and to Max. Big up to Will. No to homophobia, stop abuse. Same from Lewis, and Andrew saying very important show. Please like and share this video. Please do that, because this topic is taboo, right? People feel that they can't discuss this because, or you may not be you may not be gay, or you may not be trans, and you may think you can't have this conversation. You can, and you know what? You can even say something wrong. You can even use the wrong terminology, because at the end of the day, we all learn. I'm the last person to have a go at you for using the wrong terminology. So always have this conversation. It's awkward to have. These conversations are never easy to have, right? That's quite clear, right? Because we don't have enough of them. But never be afraid to have these conversations, because if you say something wrong, you'll be pulled up on it. But never criticize, because at the end of the day, if you attempt to have the conversation, that's more important than just hiding away from it. Now, I wanted to go through some of the things that if you see on Twitter, there's this thing called Openly. Now they're the sort of company, the sort of people that run this. And they've got some really interesting stats that I think is going to be great to go through. A big up to Chris as well, and big up to Prime. I've just shared this video. Make sure you all do the same. People need to see this. Absolutely. And this won't be a last video, right? This will not be the last video. We did a discrimination stream, raising awareness on all forms of discrimination. That was about a month ago. We'll be doing more. Absolutely. Now, the first thing that we should probably talk about is the reason why it is on this day. So the reason that the International Day Against Homophobia, Biphobia and Transphobia is actually marked on the 17th of May is commemorating the day in 1990 when the World Health Organization declassified homosexuality as a mental disorder. I mean, I'm not even going to get into the reasons why that's offensive in the first place. Like, I'm unsure why it took till 1990 for the World Health Organization to understand that you're born gay and it's not a mental health disorder, right? It's staggering that it took them that long, but at least progress has been made. That is the day in 1990. And yes, Ross, I literally just said 1990. We have not, to put that into context, I'm 25, so 6 years, 6 years ago. Well, if I was 6 years older, I would have been born on the day that the World Health Organization declassified being gay as a mental disorder. That is crazy. And I'm not an old guy. I'm not an old guy. It's mad. Prime saying, no, do you or Let's Talk Premier League have Instagram? I want to share it there also. Yeah, we do have Instagram. It's at Let's Talk EPL _. I'm not very active on that. I do need to absolutely become more active on that. Max saying, stop abuse of any kind. Absolutely. Dizzy saying, awesome show now. To hell with homophobia, racism, and other forms of idiotic discrimination. Stop all forms of abuse. I completely agree. Now, there's other things. So, did you know that in the year 2021, being LGBT plus is still criminalized around the world? 68 countries criminalize gay sex, which is incredible. That is incredible. In the year 2021, 68 countries still criminalize gay sex, which is staggering. 6 countries can legally prescribe the death penalty to same-sex relations. So 6 countries can kill you for being gay and for acting on that, right? So for something that is a completely natural and something you have zero control over doing, in 6 countries, you can be put to death for that. That is horrific. Utterly horrific. I don't understand how that's allowed, but, you know. 5 additional countries have the death penalty for gay sex on their statute books. I mean, unbelievable. It is unbelievable. According to the ILGA World, as of December 2020, there were at least 42 UN member states legally curtailing the freedom of expressions on LGBT plus issues. In March, we reported on MPs in Ghana where gay sex is illegal, planning to further criminalize LGBT rights. That is a stat that it sickens me. I'm sort of lucky I live in the UK. In fact, I'm very lucky that in the UK, the worst that I get called is faggot. Right? The worst I get is a bit of abuse. Because if I was to live in another country, I could be put to death for being gay. It could be a criminal act. But that is completely staggering. It's not as if this is something that is just popped up. It's not as if being gay is just popped up, right? We understand that a person has zero control over this feeling, that you are born, and I don't care what people say, you are born straight, gay, bi, or trans. Like that is something that you are born with, right? It may come, it may hit you later on in life, but you are born with it. It's not. I didn't just wake up one day and just decide, do you know what I want to do? I want to be gay. Well, I didn't just wake up in my bed one day and go, I think I'm gay. Like it doesn't happen like that. You go through. I was one of the lucky ones per se, because I didn't get a lot of abuse when I was at school, and I dealt with it quite well in terms of I didn't really care what other people felt or thought or said. It didn't really impact me. There are others that go through a lot worse than what I did. And this is an element of doing this stream, because there are still people out there that don't understand it. Now, we can get into the nitty-gritty of why they don't understand it. Cool. Most of it's probably due to education, right? Because no one is brought up to hate people. No one's born to hate people. It's how you are raised, I firmly believe, because no one is born to hate people. That is completely not true. It's how you are, in essence, raised. Now, that doesn't mean that your parents have made you hate gay people. It could be from friends in social groups or all of that. At the end of the day, it's crazy. In Cameroon, has seen more attacks on LGBT plus people. Last week, 2 trans women in the country were sentenced to 5 years in jail for attempted homosexuality. What? 5 years in jail for attempted homosexuality? I hear the word attempted murder or stuff like that. Attempted homosexuality. You attempted to be gay. All right then. That's odd. I don't think it's that is, it makes you speechless. Some of the shit you hear. In 2020, Colombia reported 75 LGBT plus people killed. 75 people killed for being gay. Then you've got hate crimes against LGBT plus people in Germany rose to 36%. I mean, I don't even want to. I don't even want to know what the percentage is to that in the UK. I frankly, I'd be better off not knowing. It's and for trans people, because this isn't just about gay people, trans people as well. Trans people are criminalized in 30 UN countries, right? So that's that alone. Brazil in 2020, a trans person was killed at least every 2 days in Brazil. Every 2 days, someone who is transgender is killed in Brazil. That is astonishing. That is every 2 days someone's killed for being transgender. Like, in what world are we living? Right? This is the 21st century, for goodness sake. And this is what people are going through. Over 50% of trans youth in the US have considered suicide. No one should have to consider suicide. as an option out for being transgender. No way. The most staggering stat. Did you know that it was actually it was only, I think, legal to have a same-sex marriage, and I use the word marriage because it used to be a civil partnership. I think it was 2015. I think that is when David Cameron legally, and mind you, this caused a ruckus within the conservative groups, right? I think it was in 2015. I will double check that. But I think in 2015, the UK legalized same-sex marriage. That is absolutely, that is, I'll Google it now. When did the UK allow same-sex marriage? Oh, right, okay. The Marriage Same-Sex Couples Act 2013, 8 years ago, was passed on the 17th of July 2013, and the first marriages of same-sex couples took place on Saturday, 29th of March in 2014. What? So the UN or the World Health Organization said that being gay wasn't a mental disorder in 1990. It took 23 years for that day in 1990. On this day in 1990, it took 23 years to approve same-sex marriages in the United Kingdom. In the goddamn United Kingdom. When I was born, it was illegal to be married. It was a civil partnership. In 2013, they made that legal. I have no idea how it took so long for them to do this. What we got here? Chris saying, when I was at school 6 years ago, someone in the same year as me was gay, committed suicide because of the abuse he was getting. Kids go through that every single day, and it needs to stop. And we can be a part of that because we need to make our voices loud. Now, you can be straight and still stand up for abuse to gay people, to trans people. It's completely normal to stand up against abuse. It is completely normal. Big up to Charles saying thank you for your stream. Not a problem. Not a problem. I'm brave enough to have my voice and to say these words. I was brave enough to tweet Plymouth Argyle, a club I adore, and say where was our backing today on this day alone, on the day of international on the day where we on the day of International Day against homophobia and transphobia and biphobia. Where was our recognition? Where was our backing? It was nowhere to be seen. Was nowhere to be seen. Big up to Max as well. My mate in school is gay, so cheers for your stream. No, not a problem. Not a problem. Lewis saying, big up to all people who agree with this message. It's time to put this to an absolute stop. No, it's no, but no maybes. It needs to stop. It does need to stop. Big up to RJ in the chat as well. Noel, how are you doing, Matt? I'm good, Mr. POTUS. I am good. It's so backwards. In Canada, it's been legal for much longer. We took until 2013. Now, I could get into, and this isn't just me slamming the Conservatives, because Labour were in power for a long, long time. Right? So if Labour want to jump on the bandwagon of all of this, like, we would have done it. You did have time. So we're not going to do that, are we? We're going to work on this together, because it's a joke. It is a joke. But I'm going to put the link into chat for you guys to come on, because this does need to stop, and chatting about it and talking about it is the only way that we stop this. There's, as I say, this normally is the weekly review show. We're going to do this show instead because this is more important, right? We do Rainbow Laces once a year. Well done to the Premier League. Once a year, we celebrate gay people and we try and stop abuse. Maybe make it over 52 weekends and we might have a better chance, right? Because even today, Russ put in the group chat that me and Charlotte in about Liverpool posting the messenger. And he went and he was on about the comments. And I said to him, I don't even want to imagine what the comments are saying because they're the same rhetorical crap that these people use week in, week out. Where's the change? They use the same thing. The Premier League, we celebrate it for 1 year, one weekend a year. Big up. Maybe if we do it 52 times a year, we might have a better chance of getting these people to understand this. Wearing some rainbow laces, having the rainbow background and all of that lovely stuff. Maybe if we do that over a period of 52 weeks, a long campaign. Maybe if we do it as a campaign with racism, with sexism, we might actually hit the nail on the head a lot quicker than it does a lot. Like it's one of them. All saying, sadly, these abuses and discrimination won't stop in our lifetime. Let's hope the 22nd century isn't like us. Yeah, I do fear that. I do fear that. But also the younger generation, they're much more accepting. They're much more, dare I say, civilized in this country anyway. I can't tell you about Colombia or Cameroon. That is still illegal. I can't guarantee that in the 22nd century, in the 66 countries, that it's still a criminal offence to be gay. I can't promise you that they're going to be sorted. We just can't. I would come on, but I'm currently working, so I have you on my iPad in the background and comment when I can. Massively appreciated. That is hugely appreciated. I've seen anti-Semitic abuse firsthand with my granddad, and this shit hurts. It does. It hurts everyone. It hurts anyone with a heart, anyway. But Charles, what do you make of just some of the shit we hear on a weekly basis? Like,
I mean, yeah, like I the amount of shit that I've been called, like, and it's like you said, like, I saw the in the group chat, like Russ posted it and I didn't even reply because I'm like, why am I even, and I know it's Russ, but I'm not acknowledging it, not because it's Russ, but because I'm not giving these people the minute or the time of day. Because
it's okay, they're not very original, aren't anyway. They just recycle the same bullshit every single week.
Not. I know, like, and it's annoying because you can't choose who you like and who you don't like. You can't choose that when you're born. That's something that is in your DNA or in your brain. Like, it's something you're born with. You don't wake up one day and just be like, you know what? I'm gay today. Next day, wake up, be like, no, I'm straight. It's not how it works. Like, it's just a feeling.
It's not like picking a chocolate bar.
Exactly. It's really not like, and it's just like, people don't understand, like, people don't have the same energy for this kind of, the homophobia that goes around. People don't have the same energy, like, you just see so many people. It's like the chants you get in football grounds, the fact that it happens all the time, and this is why I think there are footballers around the world that I believe, and this is just me saying, I believe that there are footballers that are gay that haven't come out, or people in sports industry.
I guarantee you, there's some in the Premier League. There will be some in the Premier League.
No, that aren't saying anything because they know that their career will be over. And do you know why their career will be over? Because this is not accepted in the sporting world. Look at what happened when Tom Daley came out. The amount of outrage that came out, like, yes, there was loads of positivity, but the negativity outshone the positivity. And this is what happens all the time. Like, this negativity outshines everything. Like, it's frustrating for me because you see people posting about like they're like all these like days like of the year, like specific days. Like we had Liverpool posted about it, but Liverpool is the only team I've seen posted about it today. I don't know if I'm wrong because I might have just
Mhm.
seen it, but
Oh,
Liverpool's the only.
Newport County, as well. I've seen
Even
them.
my team, even my football team haven't. Actually, I haven't seen
Oh,
anything.
I tweeted to mine. I when I saw it this morning, I wanted to give them a bit of time.
Yeah.
You know, be fair about this. Be very fair about this, as it
Mm.
is my club. It's not as if this isn't my club. It's a club I care deeply about. So I wanted to give them as much time as humanly possible. So their last tweet about discrimination, they obviously retweeted the Her Game too, the video, right?
Yeah.
And then said football is a game for everyone. On the day of International Day Against Homophobia, Transphobia, and Biphobia, kick off your week with a new combo of packs in the Carabao Energy drink. Combine 2 flavors, 12 cans each. When you buy a 24 pack, only $19.99 includes free shipping. So instead of raising awareness for the day against homophobia, transphobia, and biphobia, you're promoting Carabao energy drinks.
Literally.
Nice. Then obviously
But
one of our players signed a new deal, so we had all of that. Then they did the thing about renewing your season tickets. Then they had like share issues with the chairman. Nothing, absolutely nothing.
But it's like, how many, like, this is the worst part is that you're having to, like, tweet your team. Like, I'm questioning, I'm like, there's Liverpool. Apart from Liverpool, like, where are the other big clubs? I'm still waiting, hun. Like,
Mhm.
just because, like, I don't understand. Like, fall in
Well, it's because
line.
United have this stop the hate campaign, don't they? So they think they don't have to do it. That's probably what they're doing. Um, it's not right, but I'm still waiting on Argyle, and hopefully they give me a response. If they block me, they're in deep shit. That's all I will say on that one. They're in so much shit that they're not gonna wanna they're not gonna wanna do that one. That's all I'll say. Patrick Bamford was right about Super League protests. Where was that energy for things like racism and homophobia? Yeah,
Facts.
I'm still waiting on that same energy. I am waiting. Lanzi say no Premier League footballer will come out as gay after Justin Fashanu. I hope I said that name right. Fashanu committed suicide, and that's fucking terrible. I think
Yeah.
they will come out at some point. But my God, they're going to need a lot of protection. They're going to need a manager. Firstly, they're going to need a manager that understands the shit they're going through. So and I've said this in the discrimination stream. I firmly believe it will be a manager like Ollie, right? Ollie is a manager who probably, firstly, will tell the media to go fuck themselves, and secondly, will support the player, or will firstly support the player, then secondly tell the media to fuck off. Probably something along them lines. He's very much born off the Fergie cloth, and Fergie will probably tell the media to do one as well. It will take that, but they also need to have guarantees from the FA. The FA are going to need to back and sort of protect them. There will be at least, I reckon there's at least 5 or 6 gay footballers. That's minimum. There could be many more. 1 in 20 people are gay, right? We have squads of 25 people. There's going to be a fair few in there. A fair few. Nobody should ever feel ashamed or alienated for who they are. It's a disgrace my club hasn't supported this social issue. I'm going to send them a letter. And look, the more letters they get, the more they're going to be thinking, oh shit, we need to do something. Social media companies are doing a piss poor job about online abuse. Yeah, that's one way of putting it. I have stronger words to use, but
He frozen.
Yeah, my internet has got
Oh,
more
okay.
issues than you care to imagine today. I swear, Gal, stop tampering with my internet. Just because I annoyed you by saying Arsenal's getting relegated, stop fiddling with my
No, with two
internet.
L's.
Yes,
No,
no,
with
with
two
two
L's.
L's. Gal with one L, please stop stopping my internet. But Lewis, what do you make of the issue we're talking about today?
Well, I don't see the point of the abuse. Like, it's who they are. It's their body, their personality, their choice. Nobody should make them feel like, what's the point of me being here anymore? What is the point? There's not any. There's no need a knife thing going. I don't think there's any.
Yeah, no, look, I hear everything you say, and we need to have these conversations, and people need to be made aware. And I just said some of the stats. I could go right into depth onto a lot of these stats and a lot of these things, but there's just so many. I mean, there's probably 100 on there. Like, I mean, we have got 66 countries that criminalize gay sex, so God, to dread to think how many of them have genuine issues about this. The issue I have is we don't treat it the same as racism. And again, I said at the start of the stream, this isn't me putting down racism. This isn't me saying they care more about racism than they do homophobia. Because let's get it right. They don't give a toss about racism either. Right? But what I will say is we need to make sure that when we have a day like this, especially on this day, the day in 1990 on this day when the World Health Organization, declassified being gay as a mental disorder, right? On this day especially, we need to make sure we're loud and proud, right? Because these clubs, it doesn't impact them because they are a business at the end of the day. They are something that makes money. That's the way it is. But Charles, what do we need to do as a society to get these companies to listen?
I mean, I think I'm not comparing anything. I just want to give like an explanation as to how. Okay, so racism, we have the kick it out kind of thing. You wear the black bands, you take the knee. You've got all these people standing up, but there's no difference being made. So but I keep saying this, it's the same with racism, the same with homophobia. You have to blame Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. They have to take accountability. And until, unfortunately, and this is the really sad part of it, until it starts affecting their pockets and they start losing money over it, they're not going to care. And that's the horrible truth, is that until the Twitter founders, until they decide to lose money, until the Facebook owner loses money, until Instagram lose money, they don't care. And this is the sadness of the day and age that we live in, is the fact that people have to lose money before it becomes a big issue, when actually people are taking their lives. People are dealing with mental health problems because of the abuse they get on a daily basis. It's a really like a touchy subject for me, because it makes me annoyed, because nothing's getting done. Nothing is getting done, and I don't see a way out of this until Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram use harsher rules. And I keep saying that I think that we need Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. If you want an account in Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, you put your passport picture on it, so people can identify you. They know where you live, and they can hold you accountable, and you can be charged for shit. Because as far as I'm concerned, I also maybe I don't know if it would put them off, but I mean, anything's worth a go right now. Maybe like no big media companies, no companies are making it aware. Like, look at today, it's a huge day, and How many people are making it aware, apart from Liverpool, who posted both on their Twitter and Instagram? I know it was just a post, but respect to them for doing it. At least they're promoting it.
At least Twitter did as well. I mean, we give Twitter
No.
a
I'm
lot
not saying
of
I'm not
reviews.
saying that, but I'm talking about like in football in general. You don't
Yeah.
see any of the big football clubs promoting it. How many
No.
businesses have you actually seen promoted today? How many big businesses? Like you've got Nike, you've got Adidas, you've got Pretty Little Thing, you've got Nasty Gal, like you've got JD Sports. I mean, you show up for racism. You're not showing up for homophobia. I'll remember this, you know. I won't
Yeah.
forget this, you know. I'll be shopping elsewhere. I'm pretty sure Puma can take all my money because I believe Puma have actually posted a statement. I think it was anyway. One of them posted a statement. I believe it was
It'd be
Puma.
good if it's Puma because we're sponsored by Puma.
Puma also do a lot of work with Cara Delevingne, who's obviously very into the LGBTQ plus like community. So she works with them a lot. So you know.
And it's about raising that awareness. So I'm not asking for Manchester United to post every single day. I mean, that would be lovely, but I'm not holding my breath. All we want is equality. And it's funny how we talk about equality, and then even when we're raising awareness, we can't even be fucking equal on that. Like on the one thing, right? On the one thing where we want equality, you claim for equality, you can't even be bloody equal in how you promote this and how you stand up against this. But Lewis, you're a bit younger than me. What is your generation like in terms of this sort of issue? Because look, my generation, we were sort of that generation of, it was slowly getting there. We still had a lot of idiots, mind you. Is the generation below us a lot more, how do I put it, calmer about this? Are they more accepting, or are you still having the same issues as me?
It doesn't look that way because I look on Instagram, I look on players' socials, and I see, what was it? I think it was last night. That Yeti from West Brom posted on his Instagram story, I've been being called the N-word after a Liverpool game. Why? No, I don't see so much about the homo because obviously people don't come out.
Yeah, no, I do hear that. It's a tough one. It is really tough in terms of talking about this, but we need to make it more than aware. What have we got here? So Dylan saying people seem to just take the mick out of homophobic people. Oh, I think you mean people who are homosexual. It's their choice. Not quite their choice. It's more they're born with it. But no, I hear what you're saying. I don't really understand what the fuss is all about, especially those who do take physical action because of someone's sexuality. Yeah, no one should feel like that. No one should. And this, it all comes down to the one thing that I mention on every single thing. It's all about education. We're not educating these people the correct way. And clearly, the question I asked, we're not educating young people correctly either. Therefore, this issue never goes away. Like, because unless we are outraged, and I mean outraged, this doesn't go away. I think clubs need to take more action on social media and Twitter by keeping the conversation going. The clubs should get the popular players to come out and do more interviews or lives with fans. I agree that people should be criminally charged for social media posts or comments. Yes. How we do that is a different subject, because the whole personal information and all of that, it's a difficult one to handle. How we do it, I don't know. But luckily, I'm not paid that much to deal with it. So that's the government, and the government need to do a lot more. That's for sure. Can I expect that from a Conservative government? Can I? Hell, especially a Conservative government. I'm not taking this political, especially not one led by Boris Johnson, who has used the most disgusting phrases to refer to women and discrimination and all sorts of things. So our best hope is probably not Boris Johnson being our Prime Minister. But then again, David Cameron did legally allow us to get married. So maybe not all Conservatives are bad, although he did nearly, he got a lot of shit from that, from his backbenchers for
You
doing that.
never know what you're going to get with Conservatives. You never know whether you're going to
Yeah.
get like they're actually going to do something and actually going to care, or they're just going to be like, meh.
Well, that's the thing. It shocks me. It really does that David Cameron, a Tory Prime Minister, is the one that legalized gay sex marriage or same-sex marriages. Like sometimes I think about it and I'm like, I don't think people realize how much of a big thing that is, especially for him to be doing it. It's David Cameron. He's a Tory. Again, I'm not making this political. I do promise. I hate that it's so easy to go on social media, abuse a person because of their race or how they look or their sexuality and get away with it. I hate how easy it is to do that. It's disgusting. Dylan saying, trust me, the generation I live in, year 11, the amount of homophobic slurs is very common. Okay, that answered my question that I needed to know.
Yeah.
Wolf saying it's poor parenting, poor schooling, terrible environments, a lack of education that causes racism, discrimination of all kinds.
I
Totally
agree
right.
there.
And we said it in, I can't remember, it was me, Dom, Prime, RJ Sauls on the discrimination stream. And we said the same thing. Education, education,
Yeah.
education. It's the same thing.
Because
The
the
saying
thing
gay
is,
sex marriage. So yes, I got the words a little bit wrong. We forgive me. I forgive
but
myself anyway.
I think the problem is that if you're not going to educate people in the right way and teach them from a young age that it's acceptance, then you can't really do much to kind of stop this, because education, I'm not saying education would solve all problems, but education is a start. Education is a start to making something bigger. It makes it more understandable, especially for kids who are growing up, and maybe the year 11 slurs wouldn't be as bad. I'm not saying, you're obviously still going to get some dickheads. I've accepted that. But you'd have people with an understanding, and maybe people being like, actually, no, that's not okay. But we don't have that understanding, that education, that anything, and it's muggy, to be honest.
I don't normally look at likes and dislikes, but thank you to the asshole that disliked this stream. From the bottom of my heart, you're a cunt. And I mean that literally.
I'm not gonna lie, you just took the words right out of my mouth. I'm a bit pissed off. I was ready to call someone a cunt all day, and you had to go to Thanks,
I mean, you
Noel.
can do it as well. You can do it as well. I mean, they
You're a
did
cunt,
dislike the stream
and you
where
know you are. You're a cunt, and you know you are. You're a cunt, and you know you are. That's about it. Thank you.
look, I don't normally talk about likes and dislikes, but you can dislike any other video. I frankly couldn't give a toss, but this one probably didn't really deserve the dislike, unless you are one of these people we're trying to reach out to. If you do have a problem with gay people, DM me. I'd love to have a chat with you. Maybe I can educate you. That's for sure. But Max, I'm not sure if you're there. I know I was getting a bit of playback from your end, but what do you make of the topic we're discussing?
Well, discrimination obviously has been happening for quite a lot of years. I've just looked on Hull City's Twitter; they haven't posted anything about it either. They've done what Plymouth have done. They've done Carabao energy drinks. I've just put out on my Twitter now. Everyone's please spread the message of this, because I feel like it is important, and especially with my mate at school, he's feeling really down at the minute. So I'm trying to comfort him and trying to keep him alive, because he is having suicidal thoughts as well, because it's just not working for him either. But even football players and football teams, they're not reaching out to this either, and that's just, in my opinion, an absolute disgrace. Because we need to recognise this day of what it's for, what we need to think about, when we're actually saying things, because the amount of abuse that people are getting right now is just not applicable in my mind. I don't. If this keeps going forward, I don't really want to know. Whoever is against this idea of promoting the being against this, then I don't want to know you. You can go off planet Earth, because this is a disgrace. Even football players and managers are getting it, and I don't like it at all. It's a disgrace, and it needs to stop now, because it's just going away from everyone. Everyone's getting abused. Then it's going to lead to suicide, and everyone's just going to be in tears because their relatives are gone because of it.
No, look,
it's so annoying, and that's why I put on my Twitter. I will read you the tweet out now, if you want. I've literally put on my tweet about everyone, please spread the message of International Day against homophobia, transphobia, and biphobia. We need to stop this abuse all around the world. So whoever can promote this idea to stop discrimination, please do. It will help massively. Hashtag stop abuse. Hashtag say no to discrimination. That is my tweet right now, because I'm genuinely pissed off with everything that's happened. I've even got my Hull Pride flag from about 3 years ago, when they did it in the city of Hull. So it needs to stop. It really does.
Yeah, no, I do hear that. That is. I'm just going to mute you whilst we talk, because we're getting playback from your end. But I'll mute you, and then just when you're talking, just unmute yourself. StreamYard is a complete and utter bitch a lot of the time. It's brilliant in a lot of what it does, but there's some things that I don't like it. It's like, I don't like that the ticker goes over my overlay, right? I don't like that. I was experimenting, and this is a direct message to StreamYard, is whilst I don't forget. I was experimenting for things, for like breaking news and stuff like that, and your things go over my overlays. I don't like that. Bad. You're a disgrace. StreamYard, sort it out. But nah, StreamYard is brilliant, but it can be a bit trash as well. There's a few comments here. Wolf saying, "I don't trust my generation, Generation Z." Can someone explain to me what Generation Z is? Because I don't know what Generation Z is. Charles, do you know what Generation Z is?
Yeah, it's basically this like younger generation that talks whack and uses the word like whack and like all these like stupid words that even I don't understand. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm getting old when they start saying this. But Gen Z is like the younger generation. It's kind of the generation between like basically 21 to like, I'd say 21 to from 13 to like 21. That's Gen Z. They're like the generation that don't really understand stuff.
Oh, so the likes of Dom, RJ, Jeannie, Tom.
Yeah. They're all Gen Z. We are not. We are not, unfortunately.
Darn it! I missed it by 2 years. Darn it! I wish I was.
I'm 2006.
Gen Z.
So
Gen Z would be good. Gen Z would be good.
I fixed my problem. I didn't have echo cancellation on. So There we go.
That'll be it. That would be it.
Mystic Wolf, has
but
did you hear about an incident of 12-year-old boy who racially abused
Yeah.
Zaha? What? How?
we'll
If
get
you have the nerve to do that, you are a disgrace.
This is the
we'll get
problem.
into
though.
it.
This is the problem. But you're saying that it's outrageous, and it should be, yes. To me, it's outrageous. To you, it's outrageous. To everyone on this panel, it's outrageous. But it's so easy to do online, and I know that sounds really bad, but like it's so easy for a kid behind a screen to call you like a faggot, tell you to go kill yourself, like put a monkey emoji. Like it's so easy to do it online. But if you're face to face with the person, you wouldn't dare say any of that. But it's these keyboard warriors that are so capable of like being a keyboard warrior and then acting like nothing's happened the next day. And you know what's funny is that these keyboard warriors, if they were racist or like homophobic online, and they were someone was like, oh, you post, or like asked, or they were like, someone was talking about racism or homophobia, they'd support it face to face, but behind your back they'll be posting these comments, like, because it's so easy to create a fake account.
No, I do hear that. Also, a big up to Russ, who's actually changed our Twitter logo to that. What I've now changed ours on the stream.
That's beautiful. I love
so
that.
big up to Russ for doing that.
Big
Russ
up,
is
Yes.
a brilliant man. And I like that. Rainbow colors are cute. I like it. Yeah, what we got here? I don't trust my generation, Generation Z. I have zero hope for them. I've seen quite a few, plenty of racist homophobes that are Gen Z, sad future ahead. You get in all generations. It's not just them. It's all generations. So stop abuse, boycott social media. I wish the boycott would work, but that's why I posted when everyone did the boycott. I posted on Twitter. I'm not doing it because guess what? Zero is going to change. And guess what? I still feel the same. Did you hear about the incident of 12-year-old boy who racially abused Zaha on Instagram? 12 years old. What the fuck? I suppose that's society, isn't it? Gen Z is, oh yeah, we've done that one. You can still speak street and be a decent person. Of course you can. No, I'm not saying you can't. I'm not saying you can't.
We were just trying to explain Gen Z.
Yeah.
We were literally just trying to explain it. We ain't dissing anybody.
It's not something that I've become accustomed to, shall we say. You can still speak street and be a decent person. Of course you can. Of course you can. People say whatever they want on online. It's not okay anymore. Big up Velvishwan. Big up to Velv. Ravi saying, yeah, iTrolls, they are allowed as a motorbike on line, but would not bust a grape in food fight face to face. Yeah, they would be screwed. They said half the shit they say online to my face, they get broken nose. So, also, I just want to chuck out the myth of a gay person is weak. Yeah, try that. How about you annoy me? Let me punch you in the face and we'll see how weak we are. Trust me, it will hurt you a lot more than it will hurt my fist. That's all I'm saying. Not that I condone violence, only to really bad assholes. I'm not an Arsenal, but I'm not an Arsenal fan, but I rate Ian Wright for everything he's done to fight racism. And yeah, and look, Tom Daly, as Charles mentioned, has done an awful lot for the LGBT community. But in football, what sort of support has there been? And what is, apart from the blaringly obvious, because I'm not a bloody idiot, what is stopping a football player from coming out as gay? What do we think, apart from the blaring obvious of the abuse? As I was saying, my Yeah, my internet has been all sorts. Yeah, what I was saying is, apart from the blaringly obvious in terms of what we're going through as society, and but why do we think that there are the boundaries for players to come out? Why are there these specific boundaries, and what can we do to break them down, apart from obviously the abuse in the stands, which we already know and we're trying to conquer?
I don't really know how. Like, again, awareness is always going to be a big thing. Awareness is going to be an absolute big thing, and we need to kind of big that up. But you've also got the point of that people need to be doing more. People aren't doing more. These football clubs aren't acknowledging it. They're not making it better. They're not acknowledging anything. And you've got you need people to be educated as well. There's so much to the kind of making a difference. Maybe the government actually needs to get involved and basically say, if you want Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook in the UK and Snapchat, you have to have your passport or some kind of photographic ID for when you log in, and any bad words, literally any homophobic, racist, sexist words, you say one of those words and it's acknowledged, you're done. You're banned from the site for good. Is that?
Yeah, no.
That's the only way I see it getting any better.
Yeah, no, I hear that. What about you, Lewis? What do you think we can do? What other boundaries do we think that are preventing people from coming out, especially in the world of football?
Well, we saw what was it now? About a month ago, we saw that boycott. What? Like, yes, it's trying to get a message out, but was it going to make a real difference? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Was it going to make a real difference? If someone wanted to say something, they will still say it. Even though they know it's not right, they will still say it. And it's now down to the companies to get some tougher restrictions in, because what they currently have with these warnings things, it's not enough.
Yeah, no, look, I hear that completely. And what I'm not sure if Max is there, but Max, what about you? What do you think we need to do to stop this? What can we do to prevent all of this stuff? Like what do we do? I'm not sure if Max is there. I will chuck the question out and see. Right, that's what I was also looking at matches for tomorrow, because I'm also prepping for them, and didn't realize there was 2 games. But Max isn't there at the moment, so let's go through some more comments. Huge ups to you, Niall, for talking about issues like this. Keep your head high, mate. I got to go, sadly. Have a great day. I think they are afraid of their club's reaction and teammates. Do you? Do you think, Shao or Lewis, that this is a thing? Do you think they're afraid of the club reaction? Because I think their teammates already know.
I don't think it's the teammates' reaction, and I don't think it's the club reaction. I believe it's the fan reaction. Yeah. I think if anyone is, the teammates already know, and they've known for a while now, and they are and they are supportive as hell.
Let's chuck out an example, right? I'm gonna pick someone that we all know is straight, just so that no one can create a fucking rumor and I get blamed for it, right? So Bruno Fernandes, he's got a girlfriend, he's got kids, right? He's gay, right? I'm not saying he is gay, I'm just using that as an analogy. I've picked a guy that we openly know is straight because he's in a relationship, got a kid and all that, right? So I'm picking Bruno, right? If he's gay, his teammates know. And also, his club ain't going to care because that man scores them and assists goals for them. So on a professional level, the club ain't going to care too much because they know of it. But we are going to be wrapping up soon. Links are in the chats on Twitch and on YouTube, but we're wrapping up.
I think the fans will cause more problems than anything else. And I'm not saying the majority of fans, because there are a majority of fans that would stand up for this shit, but it's the minority that causes the problem. And the minority are sometimes worse than the majority. And I think that it is more about that it wouldn't be not tolerated within the club, but within the fan base, if that makes sense. I'm not saying, again, I'm not saying all fans, but the abuse maybe isn't worth it for them. Like, being in the footballer is already a struggle. Like, you get abuse if you have a bad game, so God help them if they came out.
I know, it would be complete and utter carnage. But what about the rest of you? Do we think this will be stopped at some point, or is this just a long fight until the end?
It's probably gonna be long fights at the end. I'm not being funny, and I'm not trying to like point out you or anything, Niall. But I just want to say, because obviously you used the example, didn't you, of Bruno?
Yeah.
I just want to say, because I'm not saying anyone for an example. I'm just saying, just to point out, I'm guessing you know about this as well, though. Philip Schofield.
Well, yeah.
He came out.
But I know that.
I'm not saying that you're, trying to come back to that or anything.
But the likeliness of that happening a lot is very unlikely, and I have my personal feelings on Philip Schofield and what I thought of that whole thing. I'm just using that as an analogy where it's easier to use someone in a relationship. If I say Mason Greenwood, then you instantly have people go, "Oh, Mason Greenwood's gay. Where did I hear it from? Let's talk Premier League." Whereas not many people are going to use Bruno Fernandes is gay. But like that's why I use that analogy. It's easier because Bruno, there's a 99% chance he's straight. For Mason Greenwood, that's yet to look. We don't want to pile things on him. I use him as an analogy. It's very rare that you see these people in committed relationships and then come out as sort of gay.
I wasn't saying you as well. I just going to recap with them odd people saying, "Yeah, but look at." Obviously, well,
I'd bat them off as well, because the chances normally of someone being in a relationship like that and then coming out is quite rare for the LGBT community. But we're joined by Professor. Professor, what do you make of the subject we're talking about?
Thanks very much, Noel. Hi, everybody. It's a difficult one to say. How do we resolve it? How do we stamp it out? I mean, as we've seen, unfortunately, with racism, we thought we had made so many great strides with rooting out racism in football, and we clubs have done. You got things like Kick It Out, but I suppose a lot of that has to do with the social media age as well. Which as others have pointed out in the stream earlier, it makes it easier for people to just assume an anonymous identity and just from behind that hurl all kinds of abuse. Now, obviously, authorities are tackling that. You've had your social media blackouts, but this is something that isn't going to just go away just because football clubs or TV companies decide that they're not going to tweet or post on Facebook for 24 hours or a few days. This is as people pointed out, it is potentially a generational thing. It's an educational thing. It's something. It starts at home. It starts in the classrooms. telling, teaching kids that, there's nothing wrong if, a man wants to love another man, or a woman wants to love another woman, or if someone, someone who might have been born a man decides, self-identifies as a woman, until that has really been resolved, we're going to have issues like this. And I suppose a lot of it has to do with the fact that we don't have any sort of, and I was just thinking about this before I came on the stream. The only examples I can think of outside of, say, notable women's footballers in terms of famous LGBT sports stars, apart from obviously Caitlyn Jenner, apart from Tom Daley, Billie Jean King, that there isn't really anybody in football who we can look at, people can take notice of. And I suppose that's why as well, racism has come to the forefront, because, football is a very diverse game internationally and globally. But, we've seen how intimidating, football crowds can be, how intimidating it can be online. I'm not surprised that there might be lots of footballers out there who might be gay, but simply don't want to come out because they fear how they're going to cope with that psychologically.
Yeah, no, you make a good points there. Mr. Potter saying, yeah, that's a good point. I do agree with that. Yeah, look, I think everything we've spoken about in today's stream it's just been, look, you've been able to hear some of the absolutely outstanding and absurd stats that we still have in today's society. But we are slowly going to be wrapping up because look, there's only so much we can talk about, but don't ever expect this to be the last stream, that's for sure. Because there's going to be multiple streams, maybe not directed solely to this, but it'll be I might start tackling sexism next. I mean, I already do, but I might do an individual one directed just on that, because I've done discrimination. So yeah, we'll probably that's probably the next one to come up. We'll probably do a stream on that, because at the end of the day, I don't care if you like it or not. If you don't like it, this probably isn't the channel for you anyway. But we're always going to be, especially the social topics, and especially the ones that aren't brought to the attention. You BT have done, look, we slag off these companies a lot, and rightly so. BT have done a great job with their online hate campaign, the sexism. We're seeing a lot more women in these presenting roles and within football. That's great to see. FYI, a lot of them are better than the men. In fact, I'll take any of the female BT pundits over Michael Owen. That's a fact. In fact, Michael Owen's a bad analogy, because I'd also take a bin bag in this scarecrow as over Michael Owen. But that's my personal point of view on Michael Owen. Great footballer, not such a great pundit. But look, we're starting to see more women within the game, which I enjoy seeing. I need to watch more of this Women's Super League. I watched the final yesterday. I need to watch more of it, because they play some absolutely incredible football.
Yeah. Do you know what? I don't actually mind that my team lost and I do. It does bug me, but there's a difference in the WSL. There's not a team like Barcelona. Name me a women's team that has 126, 120. It's something ridiculous, like 100. It's like 168 goals, 128 goals in 20.
Yeah.
So name me another team that done that, because our biggest pairing is Frank Kirby and Sam Kerr with 53 goals. Again, if you could tell me in the men's game, name me another pair with 53 goals. Yeah, you can't. Okay, so the women's team's better. Okay, thank you. Point proven. Right now, women's football is better. There was a competitive title race, something we all wanted to see. No one ran away with the title. It was really nice to see. We had competitiveness. You see real football. These women get tackled and get right back up again. They don't do a Mo Salah. They don't do an Aguero. They don't do a Jesus. They don't dive and expect a penalty. They don't do a Aubameyang. Like, these players, they don't do it like a bloody, I don't know, bloody Dele Alli, I don't know, fucking hell. They all just dive, to be honest, don't they? But, you know, you don't see any of them players. You see them get tackled and they get right back up again. Like, and, you know, yes, I'm annoyed my team lost, but if we can have more people acknowledge women's football, I'm all day down for
but the loss itself, Emma Hayes is still a remarkable manager.
Oh yeah, do you know what?
I'm not even gonna say woman because she is a manager. She's
an incredible manager. And anyone being like, oh, she's done, Emma Hayes out, you suck, you can leave, bye, I don't like you very much. My manager will come back. I don't know if you know this, but in Emma Hayes' journey, she is 3 years ago. 3 years ago, we lost. 3 years ago, we lost everything. We lost everything. We didn't qualify for anything. We came back with a bang. Next year, we won the WSL. Guess what happened? Next year after that, we won it again, back to back.
Yeah, I think it was whoever it was. It was that woman yesterday played for Chelsea.
Karen Carney.
No, the other one.
Katie Chapman.
No, she was a pundit on BT last night.
Yeah, Karen Carney was there. Karen Carney and Katie Chapman.
No, there was three of them.
Yeah, Sue. She was the host.
No. There was like three pundits, one host, and that was it.
Oh, I just remember Karen Carney and Katie Chapman, to be honest, because they're most important. No, it wasn't Alex Scott.
No, it wasn't Alex Scott.
But I mean, to be fair, Emma Hayes has had. Let me talk to you about Emma Hayes' career for a second, because now everyone's got me started. I know we're going a bit off topic here. In 2012, Emma Hayes was given the job. In 2013, Chelsea finished second from the bottom. In 2014, they were just a point from Man City and finished second. In 2015, Hayes wins the FA Cup final. In 2015, they saw WSL first trophy. 2016, Chelsea finished runners-up and a second in the WSL, and are knocked out the Champions League by Wolfsburg, yet again our nemesis. Chelsea scored 30 in 2017-2018. We scored 32 goals and conceded just 3 times. To clinch the spring series. We were later crowned FA Cup winners and stayed unbeaten in the WSL. Okay, bear in mind, we had a win, a bump in the road, a win, back on track. 2018-2019, Hayes saw her Chelsea side reach the semi-finals in the 3 cup competition, including WCL for a second year in succession. However, a 3rd place finish in the WSL meant no Champions League football for us. Anyway, COVID disrupted season saw again Chelsea win the WSL, and we made probably one of our best signings, Sam Kerr, legend. Anyway, bring it on to this season.
She is getting a bit of stick though, isn't she?
I mean, I don't really get why. Like, she's had a banging season.
No. She's getting the bit of stick, and look, just because she's a woman doesn't mean she gets away with this one. She said 2 years ago when Barcelona were playing Lyon, she said, "This is entertaining when Barcelona lost 4-1." Or no, this is competitive, isn't it?
And would you like to know why she said that and why she took the mick out of them? Let me explain to you the backstory, because you guys just see this tweet, like, and
but that's the thing. I've not really been into women's football as much as you myself.
During the match, competitors, the pundits, were taking the mick out of her Australian accent. They were taking the mick out of her and taking the mick out of her Australian accent. So she tweeted that in retaliation. I'm sorry, if someone takes the mick out of where you're from and your country,
That's fair. That's fair.
So
I didn't know
and-
that. If
Yeah, no, and I like to explain this to people because a lot of people have been like, "Oh, this has been brought up, this is resurfaced," and I'm like, actually, if you make it, do you want to go see? There is pretty sure on Twitter there's a video of actually the pundits taking the piss out of her and live on TV.
that's mad.
And
It's
this
not.
is why I mentioned.
And that's the thing. Like, I didn't know that because I've not. Women's football for me, I've started getting into it this season. I've been quite a late onto the scene.
Swansea are winning.
but-
Swansea are winning. Sorry, guys.
Mainly
Yeah.
because my women's team acts just like the men's, garbage. And look, at least they try to be equal with the men's. They don't want to outshine the men because that would be embarrassing for the men. The women are very polite and try to be equally as bad as the men.
Yeah.
So I think we may have won a trophy this year, which
I just
Yeah.
want to
if that
say
happens.
something. I just want to say
Yeah.
something about Emma Hayes. We're talking about her career. Last year, or maybe early this year, it was even like mid-late last year, early this year. She was on the shortlist of AFC Wimbledon's main team as a head
Yeah,
coach.
that's disgusting. That's disgusting.
Just to clarify, they don't deserve her. And the fact that she was put up there for that kind of team, and I'm sorry to any AFC Wimbledon fans, but
But that's
can
just
suck. You can suck my dick.
it's disgusting
that was
on every level
absolutely appalling.
because she
Sorry.
is far better
And
than League One.
then they were questioning, oh, she might not get the job. No, hun. The insulting part of this, the reason people are so pissed off, is that my manager, someone who actually I think eventually, before her managerial career ends, she will manage Chelsea men's team. That is something I believe will happen.
Roman likes that, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Roman's
I
a
just to
big
clarify,
fan.
guys. I said before her managerial career ends, she's got a long way to go, guys. We ain't even started yet. But I said this. She AFC Wimbledon. I'm sorry. Who are they? The only thing I know Wimbledon for is for tennis and strawberries and cream and champagne to get pissed. Eat strawberries and cream and when
For
tennis
me,
happens.
there's only like a few clubs that in League One she would even be anywhere remarkable for. One is Argyle because we're a forward-thinking club, and also we've got the facilities to bring us to. We've got the facilities to be a Premier League club. Let's not get mistaken. We're the largest city without Premier League football, for goodness sake. So, of course, the largest city never have had to the largest city never to have had top flight football. So we are one that she could become a cult hero and a legend with a statue outside because she could take us to that level. I'm absolutely sure of it. We just need to get some owners with lots and lots of dollar. We need the money. Yeah, there's them, Pompey, Sunderland. There's not many more that have for me the ability and the project, because I feel for Emma Hayes, her first job into management can't be Chelsea men's team for various reasons.
No, I agree with that.
I wouldn't want her to go to the men's game, go to Chelsea, be coming up against all of, because the men's game is slightly different to the women's game. We are going off topic, but hey, it's a great topic to talk
about. The women's game is actually proper football. You don't see the men's.
Yeah, but there is differences in terms of the two games. So I would love her to go to the championship top end, though. I'm not talking a relegation dogfight in the championship.
No.
She must either go to a League One club with ambition and want that forward thinking and that ability to go even further.
I'm sorry, I've just seen this comment and I need to address this. So this I don't know what it's, BM says the number of fans losing their minds because Alex Scott will be the new presenter of Football Focus. Just to clarify, Alex Scott is a better presenter than a lot of the male pundits. Graham Souness, who? I don't know who he is. Michael Richards, who? They ain't nothing. The only pundit that's actually half entertaining is Roy Keane because he's honest. Neville and Carragher ain't got nothing on Alex Scott. Like, Alex Scott gets put down, torn out, when actually she's probably the most intellectual one on the whole. Oh, that's Matt. I see that, Matt. I love that. I love that, Max.
Max?
See that? Max tweeted it. No, it wasn't Max. Sorry, I'm fucking up.
Professor,
I just looked
I
up now.
was just about to say, but I looked in the private chat, and that's Professor.
I am
That's not Max.
today.
I don't know how you can get Max and Professor confused with each other.
I actually have. You know what? When you're on 0 hours sleep and it's nearly been like.
I mean, I have.
No, Yeah, carry on, Max.
I have
What did you
tweeted about what the topic was of this stream, but not that. That was not me.
No,
Yeah.
I just my brain is gone.
Well, it's fine.
It's
It's
all
been a
good.
long day. It's fine.
It has been a long day. But
Really
yeah,
has.
no, look, Emma Hayes is a remarkable woman that will, I firmly believe, be a part of the men's game in the near future. She's far too good for women's football, and that's not to put women's football down. She needs to be at the Premier League, she needs to be at the elite level. Right? She needs to be managing in the Premier League in the men's game, because guess what? Steve Bruce, you are going to be destroyed. I even think she may be Pep on the tactical one-on-one, but that's just my point of view. But look, we are going to wrap it up there. It's been an absolutely fantastic stream. The level of support that we've been given from everyone has been absolutely incredible. Big up to the guy who also unsubscribed. We hugely appreciate that. Mega appreciate, because we wouldn't want you here anyway. But also a mega appreciation to all the people who have viewed it and have put in their input. But before we go, we're going to wrap up and get the final thoughts from myself and the panel. My final thought is just treat everyone equally, and that is more importantly directed to the clubs and to the people that didn't feel the need to necessarily point out today on why today is so important. So to you, treat us all as equal. But Charlotte, what is your final message to the people watching and for what we've discussed?
Firstly, kindness costs nothing. It's actually free. Costs nothing. You should try it. Anyone that hasn't tried kindness, try it. It's free, and you feel good afterwards. But yeah, like, more needs to be done. We need to have more awareness. We need to make people aware. And to everyone that's liked this video and shared this stream, thank you, because you are people helping awareness being raised. To all the football clubs that haven't posted anything, you suck.
And whoever's disliked the stream, fuck you.
Yes.
No, I hear that. But Lewis, what about you? What's your final thoughts on the subject?
There's no reason for anything to be said. More needs to be done by any social platform, because no one deserves to be thinking suicidal. And to the guy who's disliked this video, you mean nothing to Niall. Niall doesn't care about you. He cares about you, but he doesn't care about you because you don't care about this subject. You might care, but why would you? If you do care about this subject, why would you dislike the stream?
It's all to themselves. Maybe they just need. Maybe they just need that education. That, as I said, my DMs are open if you'd like to be educated on why it's not okay to be homophobic. But Max, if you are there, what are your final thoughts on the subject?
My final words are just get everything sorted. I'm surprised Premier League clubs haven't, or anyone hasn't, promoted this day, because it's a really big problem in our world, and we need to fix it, get it sorted, and stop it. Because at the moment, it's just going to go all over the place. And as I put in my tweet to everyone that's following me, please promote it, because otherwise, it's going to go nowhere. This message is not going to be useful to anyone. So my last saying is, spread it around, support this idea, let's stop it together, and let's be on this planet and actually have a nice, peaceful life. As Charles said, it doesn't cost anything to have kindness or a smile on your face. Like, it's stupid how people can get away with this. And Charles said it before. Like, they put it online. These keyboard warriors, they put it online, but like they put it online. Then when they meet them in the meet face to face, like, shit, I want to say it, but I can't. Like, if you're not gonna say it in real life, don't say it at all. It's like my year 6 teacher. He said to me, if you're not gonna say anything nice, don't say it at all. That's exactly what links to this. And this needs to stop. This really needs to stop. So we need to work as a team. Stop it. Promote it in football and every sport, and stop it all together. Because the more of us that get into the idea of stopping it, the more it's going to become noticeable, and the more that's going to be done about it. And even though I haven't been following a lot since today, I've realised today that this needs to be dealt with. I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot, but I need to, because this is a big message. It needs to be spread out everywhere, and we need to get it done.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. That saying you said, that's a saying that my grandma said to me when I was a youngster. So I'm aware of that saying. But Professor, what are your final thoughts before we end this?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of the words, really, how to kind of sum this up. I mean, look, saying this to everybody listening to this, watching this, the great thing about, and this is not some kind of a political agenda, this isn't me trying to be woke or anything like that. The great thing about the world we live in is the diversity of people that we have in it. It enriches our lives meeting different people every single day. And that's the great thing about life. People are free to live however they want to be, whether they, whatever they want to, religion they want to follow, however they want to dress, whoever they want to fall in love with. And nobody has the right to judge anybody or to make people feel bad about themselves because of that. And we can say things like, F off to people on the stream who are disliking it because of, that we're having this conversation. But frankly, I'll say to those people, I feel sorry for you. I feel, whether you're doing it to make yourself feel hard, or maybe because you genuinely are that kind of a person that you can't stand the fact that, people might not be straight, or people might not self-identify as a man or whatever they were born as, and I pity you, and I hope that, you'll go away, you'll reflect on that, educate yourself. And, it's the same for all, for everybody, really. It starts by educating ourselves and, educating those around us, whether it's our children, whether it's our partners, whether it's our family members. And, as you said, kindness doesn't cost anything, and treat people the way that you'd want to be treated. And if that doesn't please you, then go and watch a Roy Chubby Brown DVD or something else that will fit your intellect. That's all I have to say, really.
No,
well said. Just a little round of applause there. Well said.
I hear that, and people need to be educated. This ain't gonna be the last thing we ever do on stuff like this, but football will be back tomorrow. It's not like it was gone today. I did 2 football streams, Argyle news and some transfer news today, but tomorrow we'll obviously always have the transfer news as we normally do, 3 p.m. Tomorrow, where the link's put in the chat and anyone can come on and have their say. But we got a couple of match reactions tomorrow, plus we've also got a Arsenal show all for you tomorrow. So busy day tomorrow. So 3 p.m. we have the transfer news show. I don't know what the subjects are going to be because I find out in the morning with what's happening in the press. So that'll be tomorrow, 3 p.m. for that one. Then at 8 p.m. we have the United Fulham match reaction. And then finally, well, not finally, then at 9 p.m. we have the Arsenal show, where I'll be joined by a few people to discuss all things Arsenal. These are the second to last weekly shows for the individual clubs. because we'll be taking a break over the Euros, but we will not be gone. By no means will we be gone, because we have Euro build-up to do. Saturday is a good stream. Saturday, me and a few other people are going to be getting together and doing our 26-man squad. I've already got mine done, and I've done my graphic. I need to get the others who are going to be doing it sending me their 26-man so I can make their graphic as well. That's Saturday, probably sometime in the evening. And then at 10:15 tomorrow, big match reaction from Stamford Bridge, Chelsea versus Leicester, a repeat of the FA Cup final, but this time
That's
this is
going to be a huge game.
This is a must win for Chelsea Football Club. Match reaction, as always, on this channel. And I'm sure Shah will be there, win, lose, or draw. If she loses, she will be drunk. So do assume for that if they lose.
If I lose, I'm not going to be. You're going to have a translator.
And if they lose, they're going to be in trouble with Liverpool.
Yes. Big up Niall.
There's a certain team with a goal scoring goalkeeper.
I hope one day we will live in a world where we live in peace. Make sure you like and subscribe. Absolutely. Make sure you do that. But please check out our socials on Twitter at Let's Talk EPL _ and on TikTok at Let's Talk Premier League. Also on Instagram at Let's Talk EPL _ Twitter is Let's Talk EPL. And Charles, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Charles _strong. You can find me on here basically a lot. You can find me on my YouTube channel, Charles Strong TV. We will be doing a watch along for the Chelsea Leicester game tomorrow. And as usual, lines get opened at the beginning and the end of the game. So yeah, check it out.
Yes, absolutely. And Lewis, where can they find you, bro?
You can find me on Instagram at LewisPlays55, and you can find me also on YouTube at Post Sports. And like Niall said, if anybody has a problem, please DM me. My message is always open. If you have a problem, please message me, and I'll try and help you. Understand?
Yeah. If you need education, look online. But Max, where can they find you, bro?
You can find me here on YouTube, MaxTagHD. Find me on Twitter, YouTube _MaxTagHD. MaxTagHD on Twitter, TikTok as well. Instagram, MaxTagHD official. And yeah, if you do need educating, just message one of the 3, 4, however many want to do it. If you need educating, just drop us a message. We'll just have a little chat with you. And say what we say what we think. Yeah. And that's really it.
I hear that. Professor, where can they find you?
You can find me here on Twitch, Professor Wigglytuff PhD. Again, if anyone wants to reach out to me to discuss all things football, sport, politics, and yes, likewise, if anyone needs educating, first thing I would say is stop sniffing the nail varnish, and that's always a great start. But drop me a message. We'll have a chat, and
100%.
I would say reach out to me, but I'd probably just call you a cunt. So probably don't.
Reach out to me. I have a
they
longer
understand
fuse.
better.
I have a longer fuse.
But in other news, Leicester have actually apologised. I don't know if you guys saw. Sorry, going off subject.
Daniel Martin.
Leicester have had to apologise to Chelsea. Leicester have apologised to Chelsea, and Daniel Amati has had to apologise to Chelsea.
I don't agree with that, because I see that as nothing. He's thrown your badge on the floor. Who cares?
No, but it's a disrespect thing. Like No. I think the apology is needed. It was outrageous.
No.
Do you know what? I wouldn't have given a shit. I wouldn't have cared. I wouldn't care if it wasn't on a live stream. But when you bring it on a live stream, you're going to bring the controversy. That was your choice
Yeah,
to
but
have
I
daughter-in-law.
like that. I like
Yeah.
that. The passion,
No, I
the
think he's
fire,
a
the
twat. No,
all of that. I thought it was quite funny.
no, he's a
1 minute.
twat.
But we're gonna end it.
No.
We're gonna end it there. We are gonna end it there. A big thanks to everyone that has been watching. We'll be back, as I say, tomorrow 3 p.m. with transfer news. Plenty of stuff coming up for that as well. But a big thanks to everyone watching. We'll be back at 3 p.m. tomorrow. But until then, take care and